You, you're my angel from above. Haha, beautiful moon, beautiful moon. You all, my neighbor's leaving at the same time that I am. And I hope she doesn't block the exit. That's the other entitled one that I'm telling you all about. We have the insufferable and we have the other entitled. Hang on. My car is still clean. So I was a bit nervous all afternoon inside. Alone. I kept myself busy though. I cleaned. And by the way, it is 9:31 and focus. 83 degrees. I hate that my phone doesn't focus. Let's see what's gonna happen right now. When I'm leaving, I'm pulling out. Okay, she turned off her car. I guess she just got home. You just don't know these people. You just don't know. You don't know when they want some. Yeah. Trying to be tough over here. Well, my other son's not home. He's working. I hate that he gets off at 1 o'clock in the morning. I worry about that all the time. I'm excited that my husband's coming home. That way I don't have to sleep alone. But then he's going to leave again. And I told him what happened, you know. I didn't even really want to talk about it. I was in the bathroom when I called him. I had just gotten out of the shower and I washed my hair again because it smelled like hair color earlier still. Now it smells way better. I washed it like 5 more times. Probably dried out my hair, but as long as it doesn't smell like hair color. And I started telling him about it and he's like, you didn't say anything. I'm like, I did. I thought I did. Like, I did. I thought I did. No, you didn't. And you better stop watching scary movies. And I said, I didn't watch scary movies. I had it on a comedy last night. However, I didn't tell him that I watched the series. Because if he knew, he would be really, really upset. Oh, I should have never done that, you all. I should have never watched the series. I blame the creator that talked about it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I should not have done it, and I really, really regret it now. But I'm going to read my Bible tonight before I go to bed. Wow, that's a big plane. That is a really big plane. I can't show you all because I'm driving. Let me see. There's not a lot of traffic out here. Okay. I don't know. Can you all see that? All the way over there? At a distance? I don't know. Ooh, the gas is at 251. I just gassed up the other day. And it wasn't much either. But it went up this morning and now it's going back down. But yeah, I don't know. And you know what? And I fell asleep watching a comedy last night and a creator talking. But then all of a sudden, like, I don't know if they finished their live and for some reason on the Roku TV, even on the other TV, it'll like shut off. So it was super quiet. And like I said, I could hear the rain. And I was like, oh, okay, the rain, you know. And the weird thing is, it had to have been some kind of dream that I had because it was like around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. If something like that were to happen, I would assume it would happen like at the weird hours, you know. Okay, what did I do with my water? Oh, I left it in my purse. Look, this is a weird name for a song, but I like the beat. What is that? Tihupu? 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 I don't know. But I've yet to watch this video on what's going on with this. Oh, okay. There we go. They were talking about witches in the church. And can Christians be witches? And then I was listening to this other creator earlier talking about that, about the church. And I was agreeing with everything that he was saying, you know. Of course, I was cleaning at the time, so I couldn't take notes. And now I'm like the type that needs to take notes to remember things, because if not, I don't remember. And I know a lot of people will be like, that has to do with age and stuff, but no, it has a lot to do with everything that I've been through. Another topic for another time, but it does, like, when you suffer any type of emotional, mental abuse and physical abuse, it messes with your brain. It really does. And anyhow, back to the church. And then I started thinking, yeah, like at my church, I don't understand why we don't talk about deliverance. I don't understand why these things about witches being in the church, why we're not addressing that. And you all, I hate myself for saying this, but I feel like my so-called friend, I feel like she's like not all like really the Christian that she portrays to be. I feel like there's a dark side to her, and I feel like that's why I'm feeling the way that I've been feeling lately. Because if you all notice, when I'm doing my recordings, I've been like really mad at my church, at my pastor, at everything and everyone. And I'm like, after I record all that, I'm like, what's wrong with me? You know, like, why am I feeling this way? And I'll start having my conversations with God, and I'll be like, God, what's going on with me? I know that you never leave me or forsake me, but am I leaving you? What's going on? Why am I feeling these emotions? And one of the things that the creator said was on how some people want your life, and I forgot the term that he used for it. I will go back and listen to his live, and I'll take notes, and I'll tell you all about it. Or maybe I'll just share it on my community post, and that way you all could just hear it from him. But it's kind of like they steal your, I don't want to missay it what he said, but it's kind of like they want to steal your identity. But it was much deeper than that. It's more of like a soul type of thing. And I feel like maybe that's what she's trying to do to me. Because she mentioned to me one time, she was like, wow, you don't even have to work. And your boyfriend, she calls him my boyfriend because she won't acknowledge him as my husband since we're just living together. She said, your boyfriend pays for everything. Must be nice. And I was just like, well, yeah, but I used to work before. It wasn't like I never worked a day in my life, and then he just came in and took over, you know, like. And I said, and besides, I said, I am wanting to do something. Like, I don't want to be in this position anymore, like, where I'm not doing anything with my life, you know. And then I stopped myself, and I thought to myself, wait, why am I explaining myself? Like, why am I explaining myself to her like this? What's going on, you know? And she'll make little comments here and there about my life, and I don't understand why. And one of the things I was telling, my cousin called me today also, and I'm glad she did because I was alone in my room. And I was telling her on how I felt about this girl, right? Well, not girl, but lady, woman. And she knows who she is. And then I was, and I was telling her, she was talking to me this past Sunday. She was telling me how another friend invited to go sit with her. And she didn't want to go because her husband was with her. And I'm like, well, that's, why didn't you go? Like, she doesn't mind you sitting with her even if her husband's with her. You should have gone, I don't want you to feel obligated to sit with me by any means, And she's like, no, I got my church buddy. And I don't know why that rubbed me the wrong way when she said church buddy. And I was telling my cousin, I said, now I'm a church buddy? I'm not even a friend. I'm a church buddy. I'm like the buddy to keep the seat warm next to her. That's what that sounds like. And I felt kind of like, okay, Moon, you're being very anal about everything now, But I don't know, you all. Like, I just didn't like that term, church buddy. And so anyway, I went on telling her how, the conversation we had and how she said that certain people that came to our church before, they were teachers, and she starts naming them. And she's like, did you know that yada yada was a teacher? Did you know that yada yada is a teacher? Did you know yada yada is a retired teacher? Did you know that yada? And I'm like, yes, I know all of these people that you're talking about. But what I found weird, that I was telling my cousin, is like, what I found weird is that when we all hung around together, because it would be way before, back in the day, my cousin and I and all these people she was naming, we all hung around in a group together all the time. We would even go out to eat together and then go to each other's houses and just hang out for a while, all as a group, men and women. She was never there. The way that I met her is she used to work in nursery, and I've known her, not know her, but I've known her for 24 years. My younger son just turned 24. So I'm like, in all these 24 years, she never hung out with us. All these people that she's naming, they were with us. So I got kind of confused as to what she was trying to get at. And aside from that, I was telling my cousin how I felt that she was like very draining for me, and how I just felt this dark side of her that I didn't like, this heaviness. And it would be different if I could tell you all, like, I feel like she's depressed and she just needs prayer, she needs a friend. That would be totally different. I wouldn't feel the way that I feel. But I feel like this lady just does not have any good intention towards me. By the way she talks to me, by the way she acts around me, and by the way that she is to herself. And for a woman her age, she's a few years older than me, but okay, at that age already, even at my age, I'm just going to use my age and her age as an example. But at our ages, you know better than not to take care of yourself. You want to look presentable. Now, there are times that I joke around and I'll be like, oh, I dress like a bum. That's mainly like in the winter when I'm cold, and I'll wear warm-ups and my hoodie, a ponytail, no makeup, my glasses. But of course, that is just to do a quick run to the store, to the Walmart market, or the grocery store, get something really quick and come home. Or if I go pick some food up and bring it home. But if I'm going to go eat somewhere with my husband or my kids, I'm going to put makeup on. I'm going to make myself look presentable. I'm going to take a shower. If my hair's not clean, I'm going to wash it. Even if it's just to go have dinner, I'm going to wash it. I'm washing my body with soap and water. You know, I'm going to use one of my Bath and Body washes, you know, and body sprays, or I'm going to put some perfume on. Afterwards, I'm going to smell good. I'm going to brush my teeth. I brush my teeth even if I'm not going to go out to eat. I eat breakfast, and if I got to go put gas, guess what? I'm brushing my teeth. You never know who you're going to run into. I don't want to go anywhere with a dirty, smelly mouth. You know? Knock on wood, but I don't. So I'm going to brush my teeth and put makeup on, and I'm not going to overdo it with the makeup, just enough to look alive. Not that I look too dead without it, but you know, just a little bit, a little glow. You know, I want to look glowy. I want to look pretty. You never know who you're going to run into. I do the same for church. Of course, I put a little bit more makeup on there. I want to make sure that you can see my blush, because I can't for the life of me find a good blush. I found a cream blush by, I think it's, what is it? It starts with a P. Philosophy. I have no idea. You know, I have no idea. I'll show it to you all one day. It works pretty good, but it works even better when I apply that cream blush and then a little bit more powder blush on top. It'll last longer. But if I just put the cream blush, it won't last very long. And yes, I've already tried primer. I've tried all kinds of primers. Well, except for Milk. I want to use a Milk primer, but I need to finish the ones that I have. And the Milk hasn't gone on sale at Ulta. Okay, I'm not getting... Stay on topic, Moon. Shut up, Moon. Stay on topic. Okay. So anyway, you know, I'll put a little bit more makeup on when I go to church. I'll fix my hair up. You all already know that I've said that on Saturday nights I'll wash my hair. I washed it today 5 times, right? Plus the 3 times that I washed it earlier after I did my hair. That does not mean that I'm not going to wash my hair again Saturday. I will wash my hair again Saturday night. I like to have nice smelling hair for church, okay? I like to have nice smelling hair all the time, but especially for church, especially if we go anywhere. You know, I'm like that person that from way back in the day when they would say, make sure you have clean underwear on, because you never know when you're gonna, like, if you're in an accident or something, you make sure you have clean underwear on. I'm like, make sure you not only have clean underwear, make sure that your teeth are brushed and your hair smells nice. That's me, okay? That's just me. But I don't even know how to say this without sounding mean. But this woman that I sit with, I noticed she don't smell clean. She smells kind of rancid. Like, I'm not even talking about like an old perfume either. Like, she smells like she pulled her clothes out of the hamper and put it on. And even with her chewing gum, God forgive me, I'm knocking on my head. God forgive me, but even with chewing gum, I could still smell her breath. And her hair is long. She's always had long hair ever since I've known her. She's had the same hairstyle since I've met her 23 years ago, where it's long, it's like up to her waist, and then she has those chunky bangs in the front. And of course, with time now, her hair is no longer dark. She don't dye it. It's salt and peppery. So she doesn't take care of that hair. Like I get, like sometimes as women we get lazy, like our grays are coming in, Gen X are here. Our grays are coming in and we're just like, oh, I don't feel like doing my hair. That was me last week. But then I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is horrible. I'm going to dye my hair. That's why I did it today. I was going to do it since yesterday, but I was like, no, I'll do it today. So I did it today. And I feel so much better. I feel so much better now that I've done it. Anyway, there's some women though that are just like, forget this. My hair is starting to get gray. I'm not going to dye it. I'm just going to let it all turn gray. And they'll go through that process of where it looks horrific, where you have like gray on top and then black, and then they'll have like a different color on the bottom. It looks horrific. You're better off just going to the salon, spending that money and having them do all your hair, and then that way the transition is a lot smoother and a lot better. That's what I plan on doing, but I plan on doing that 20 years from now. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyway, I better start saving too. But anyway, but to let your hair go like that is one thing, but at least take the time to brush your hair, put some product in it, some hair oil, pomade. There's a lot of stuff out on the market for females, and you don't have to get like the high end. You can buy, over the counter. There's a Garnier. It smells really good. I personally don't care for it. I've used it before. I didn't really like the way it felt on my hair. But I mean, there's that. There's BioSilk. I know a lot of people don't like that. They're like, oh no, it's too heavy. It dries out my hair. Yeah. Find something that works for you. There's so many products out there. All you got to do is just try what you think will work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, just return it and get something else. Everybody has that 30-day return policy, and just get something else. Or if you go to the Ulta or Sephora and you ask somebody there, they'll recommend something. But please invest in something for your hair. Unless you have beautiful hair and you don't need any product in it, then it's something different. But take care of your hair. Take care of yourself, right? She puts no makeup on. I think one time I saw her with lipstick, and it was already coming off. And I'm like, oh, okay, she finally wore lipstick, but that's it. As a woman of her age, she already knows this. Nobody should have to tell her or have a talk to her about her hygiene. Whether you're a male or a female and you're already an adult, you know all about the hygiene. You can smell yourself. You know what you smell like. You know what you don't want to smell like. So you don't need to have somebody tell you about that. You don't need to have that talk. That was way when you were little, when you were like going through puberty. That's when they give you the talk about how to take care of yourself. I feel like if I were to give her a gift from Bath and Body, I feel she'll get offended. Just like when I gave her the bag. When I gave her the bag, I should have put Bath and Body in there and been like, here you go, I got you something. But as it is, how she reacted with the bag, like, why? You all remember that? Why? Well, why not? Like, my daughter-in-law makes these and I thought I'd give you one. She wants to sell them, on the internet and stuff, and why not? I'm not charging you for it. I'm giving it to you. It's a gift. Just take it and shut up. But she's like, why? And I have some Bath and Body there at my home. I don't have to even go make the purchase. There's some stuff that I have there that I haven't used that is new. I sprayed it once, and then I decided I don't really like it as much as I thought I did, and I have it in the closet. Before, I would give that stuff to my mom. Not that my mom smells. My mom's just like me. My mom was just like me, always taking a shower, always putting on creams and perfumes and stuff. Even for bed, you all, even for bed, I will shower with my body washes from Bath and Body, and sometimes I will even spray myself before I go to bed, because I just want to feel pretty. I want to feel fresh. I want to go to bed fresh, and but mainly I'll just use the body wash and a cream, and I'll go to bed like that. But sometimes I'll use all three, even just to go to bed, just because I want to feel pretty. I'm just a really girly girl like that, and anyhow, but I feel like if I give her that, she'll get offended. But it's kind of like my way of telling her, like, hey, like, you may want to put some of this on, why not? Even, it's like I was telling my cousin, even if she's not looking for a man because she decided she don't need one, fine. But that doesn't mean you need to stop taking care of yourself. That should never mean for anybody that if you don't want a partner in your life, that does not mean it gives you a free pass to be stinky. You don't want to be the stinky person. You want to still take care of yourself. And I don't understand. I don't understand why she's like that. And then I started telling my cousin also, I said, maybe that's why her friends don't sit with her anymore, because of the way she's kind of like smells. And it's not, mind you all, it's not, she don't smell like armpits, thank God. Otherwise I would probably say, you know what, girlfriend, no, this has got to stop. I would definitely say something. But like I said, she does have a rancid smell to her. And it's not really body odor, I don't think. I think it's more of her clothes, like she didn't wash it, or she's wearing like something out of the hamper. Yeah, it's just not good. It's not good. And of all places, at least, be presentable at church. Why not? Why are you coming like this to church? And even pastor, he came from a Protestant church, and even he's mentioned how he didn't like that the women didn't use any makeup, and they would use those long skirts and the big old braids and stuff. And he's like, by all means, please, women, church members, feel free to use makeup. I'm not going to hold it against you. And he says it jokingly. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you want to be the best person you can be. You want to look good, And she said that she works at the hospital, one of the hospitals. And she's a data entry clerk. And I'm like, how do they allow you to work like that there? Are you telling me that you dress differently for the hospital? Like, do they not notice, like, okay, here's this woman that doesn't take the time to even brush her hair, fix her hair, put makeup on, take a shower, brush her teeth, wear clean clothes? Like, what's going on here? The fact that she works in the career that she does, I I gather she's getting paid pretty good for her job. It's a Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock till 5 o'clock. I'm assuming she's getting a pretty good paycheck. How can we not afford hygienes? I don't get it. You know, Bath and Body has sales all the time. If you can't afford perfume, because I know perfume is very expensive, I should know. I owe a lot on my credit card for it. But Bath and Body will have specials like $5.95 for the body sprays. $5.95, you all. And sometimes they'll even have where you can mix and match. Or they'll have, one day they'll have like $5.95 body sprays on all body sprays and regular size body sprays. And then, like, say the following week they'll have $5.95 body lotions, regular size, full size body lotions. So little by little you can collect those. Oh God, this guy scared me. It's the Muffin Man. You know, so little by little you can collect all of those and have a collection and switch it up. Sometimes, like the samples, well, not the sample size, the smaller size, the travel size. There you go. That's what I wanted to say. The travel size. Sometimes they'll even have them for like $2 something. You know, you got to get out there and just explore, you know. And they'll have the little hand sanitizers that smell really good too, for like $1.95 sometimes. Sometimes even just $1. You know, you just gotta check. And I know some people will be like, oh, but I'm allergic to all of that body sprays, or it gives me headaches. You know what, there's some perfumes that I wear that give me headaches, but they smell good. Take an Excedrin and move on. Spray yourself, take an Excedrin, and move on. You'll be all right. Push through it. Just as long as others can smell how good you are, you know? And I'm not asking for much from this lady. I'm not telling her, go get your nails done. That's expensive. All I'm saying is just be presentable, you know? And I'm saying this to anybody that's let themselves go that much, you know, like, you shouldn't. There is no reason. Your age is not a reason for you to let yourself go. The fact that you want to be single is not a reason for you to let yourself go. If I had her long hair, not only would I dye it, I would also curl it on the ends. I would do different styles. I would definitely let those chunky bangs grow out. They're driving me nuts. But I would let them grow out, you know, and just try something different with my hair. Cut it up to your shoulders. Why do you have to have it so long, you know? Just do something different, you know. Try some different pants on, a different blouse, a different body spray, you know, like, brush your teeth, you know, just floss, mouthwash, the whole thing, you know. Cleanliness is godliness, right? Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. You know, like, I feel really bad even talking about this, but I feel like it needs to be said. You know, like, some people out there, you know, you all gotta just, like, no, you all gotta stop this. Take care of yourself, you know. And if you can, get some exercise in there too. Get some walking done. I just saw a couple walking a little while ago before the Muffin Man came up from behind me. Yeah, Get some exercise, get some walking. This is advice for me too. Start eating healthier. Lately I've been so hungry, and I think it's that HRT that's making me super hungry, because I was never this hungry before. And I am going to talk to the doctor about it tomorrow. I have an appointment tomorrow. But yeah, like, I'm trying to incorporate more salads, more chicken salads, more soups. No more of this heavy food like French fries and burgers, and what else do I eat? Chicken tenders. You know? And desserts. No more desserts. That's my son's fault. He bought himself whole cake. But, anyhow, thank you all for listening. I hope I didn't sound rude. I didn't want to sound like that. I didn't want to sound snotty, stuck up. I was just giving advice. That's all. Friendly advice. Love you all. Enjoy your, what is today? Wednesday. Bye.